So, as you know, we are just days away from the Super Bowl now. And like everything else, the typical ad experience is going to be different this year. But that's okay.
Yes, and Lindsey sat down with an advertising expert to find out what we can expect come commercial time.
Now, for some, they only tune into the big game to see what happens in commercials and get so excited about what everyone is going to be talking about the next day. We're joined now with Tim Burt, who is America's #1 marketing strategist, who has put together more than 30,000 ads. Tim, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, Lindsey.
So, Tim, what do you expect this year? We've already seen several companies say, hey, we're not even going to show up to the game to play this year. Talk to me about that difference.
You've had some really big brands, businesses that we've seen that have really become Super Bowl staples. They've opted out this year. Ford, Facebook, Hyundai, Kia, Little Caesars, believe it or not. I mean, why wouldn't you advertise pizza in the Super Bowl? But they've decided to redirect that money elsewhere. But in their absence, we're going to see some new ads like Vroom, Mercari, State Farm is doing their first Super Bowl ad. So we're going to see a mix, the average turnover.
So it allows other people to sort of come to the game and start and to play.
Oh, sure. Absolutely. Well, you figure you're going to have probably 200+ million eyeballs on you. Why wouldn't you want that kind of exposure?
Absolutely. And you said there was going to be kind of potentially a different tone this year. What do you think the big difference might be?
Well, if you think of Super Bowl ads as really as a snapshot of where we are as a country, let's take the last year, for instance, you're probably going to see masks, social distancing, maybe in a few ads, not all of them, obviously, but there's going to be some serious tones. I've seen WeatherTech talking about that they never left the United States. They're not bringing jobs back from overseas because they never left. So there's going to be some serious ads too, but people ultimately tune in for the humor.
And so you had also said that, well, I guess talk to me about what you think is going to be the win in the eyes of the public, almost sort of maybe a bold message that you're predicting.
A bold message. I think the brand or the company that has the biggest call to action, in other words, gets people to do something, ultimately that's the goal of an ad, is going to win. Early contender, in my opinion, is going to be the Mountain Dew watermelon ad with John Cena. Because they want you to keep watching the commercial over and over again, because if you can count the number of bottles in the commercial, the first person to tweet it's going to win $1 million. That to me is a home run.
Absolutely. Real time, feedback right there.
Absolutely.
So what is it about Super Bowl ads that just get people so excited?
Well, you can turn it back to 1984 and the Apple commercial, the one that really broke the mold. That's why we do this. I mean, they set the standard 37 years ago, and we're still talking about that ad to this day. And they changed the mold because all of a sudden now people expect to be entertained. They expect big, bold, flashy, flamboyant ads. And it's up to the advertising agencies and the companies to deliver it to them. This is what the public wants, so let's give them what they want.
And it should be a pretty good game too.
Let's hope so.
Absolutely. Entertainment all the way around.
Absolutely. Well, and you think about if it's a bad game. You remember a few years ago when it was Seattle and Denver, and it was like 43-8 or something at the end of the game. If you're a national advertiser and you buy an ad in the fourth quarter when that game's a blowout, you've lost a lot of people. They've tuned out. And so it is a very high risk, high reward gamble, but it can pay off, and it can also turn around and bite you.
All right, Tim, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
And this leads us to our social question of the day. Of course, we want to know what's your all-time favorite Super Bowl commercial. I got to start with mine because I am biased. I think it's the best.
Yeah.
Look at this. It's Mr. Clean,
yes.
the wife. She's watching. Well, she saw him mopping, and then all of a sudden it turns into her husband, and then there you go.
Right.
So it's like she's all passionate. I just think that it's hilarious.
There is something kind of sexy about Mr. Clean, right? Like, I love this. It's so clever. I'm always a sucker for the Clydesdales. You know, anytime you see the Clydesdales or a dog or any little creature, I love those. So some of the responses we got, Lauren, she said the Budweiser puppy commercial. That's right. There it is there. This one was so sweet. I'm right there with you. This one just melted my heart. I love it.
And then we've got Chrissy says it's called Like a Girl from 2015. So let's see what that one looks like. I don't recall this one.
This one's
Maybe
fun.
it's
We'll
ringing
have to go
some
back.
bells back home. I don't know.
Yes, no, this one is. And see, it's all about girl power. And, you know, don't say like a girl like it's an insult. Say it like it's a compliment. Be proud. I love it. I love the messages for this.
Well, you can join our conversation on Facebook.